live soon. Yeah, we are live. Good
Awesome.
evening, everyone.
Shanti, how many people are watching?
Some number of people are watching. Two of us are.
Okay. Let's just say like 100,000. So like, thank you so much
Yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
watching.
So, guys, full admission, we were supposed to do this on YouTube, and then we are both fossils. I am a fossil. I did not understand how to do YouTube live. So, somebody on LinkedIn, if you're listening to this or later watching this video, message me, tell me what to do. Dummies 101. I'm a dummy, so tell me what to do next time so that Anshuman and I get it right. I get it right at least. Anyway, Anshuman, welcome, welcome. We're doing this back on LinkedIn. And
बहुत बढ़िया.
last time we did a preview of the beautiful, beautiful Brisbane test, which a lot of the predictions came right, what we had sort of
Absolutely.
envisaged. But
Ah,
tomorrow we start the Jason Bourne series of Melbourne Identity or Melbourne, whatever, Ultimatum, whatever you want to call it. So, boxing gloves on for the Boxing Day. This is going to be the test, right? Assumedly.
yeah, it would. Actually, like before we start, like I have a question for you and the
Ah,
audience.
I like questions. Good.
Okay.
Ask.
So, what's the connection between Melbourne and Gotham City?
What?
Let's give it like 30 seconds. Like, can you tell if someone's typing an answer? Or like, Shanti, how about you? Like,
I don't know the answer, but Melbourne and
Gotham City.
I don't want to Google, but I can let me try a guess. You're giving 30 seconds?
Yeah, okay, 30 seconds.
I mean, Melbourne and Gotham City connection. I don't know. Uh, the only guess is that obviously something to do with Batman, and Batman's probably somebody named Batman built the city. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right, man.
Ah, seriously, that it's true.
Yeah. So, like the
Right.
one of the founders of Melbourne was a gentleman called John Batman,
Oh, fuck's sake.
and he
Sorry.
tried very hard to have the city named as Batmania. How cool would
Wow.
that have been?
Amazing question. Amazing question. I didn't know this at all. So, so there's no Gotham connection except for the fact that one of the builders was a guy named Batman.
Exactly. Like, have you come across anyone called Batman other than the Batman?
No.
So,
No, I
like,
mean, we are talking about Batsman here, but
yeah,
Batsman here.
yeah,
Okay.
that's another connection.
Yeah. Though these days, you know, right? These days, the politically correct word is batter. So
Ah,
we
yeah, true,
we don't
true,
use the
true.
word man because obvious reasons, right? So
I
it's
was born in 1973. I couldn't
same
care
here. I
less.
was born in 1975. I will call them batsmen.
No.
Okay, fantastic. So yeah, back to Melbourne. Back to Melbourne. What do you think is what are your initial thoughts on the test tomorrow?
Like I read some reports that Rohit Sharma is going to open the batting.
Yeah, I read those two.
Now, how stupid is that?
Very.
Like, the chap is like clearly out of form. And like, maybe this is just a conspiracy theory. Like, I'm just putting two and two together. Like, Bharat Sundaresan commented that we're likely to see a retirement uh, either after the match or like at the end of the city. So, like, is this Rohit Sharma like, trying to go down in a blaze of glory, as Bon Jovi said? If he is, like, it's the stupidest thing that he can do. He should
Yeah.
continue to bat at number five, number six, whatever he came in at Brisbane. Like the chap was like clearly out of sorts out
Yeah.
there. Like, okay, agreed. Like, this is going to be a slightly more batting friendly wicket.
Hmm.
But as the curator of the pitch put it, like, there is grass on it, and it would offer some assistance to bowlers, especially with a new ball.
Yeah.
So, like, as Ravi Shastri says, first session of the first day of a match,
Hmm.
uh, does Rohit Sharma really out to be out there?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not really sure.
I don't know. I'm just getting a distinct feeling something's not quite right in the camp. I mean, after Ashwin's retirement thing, there seems to be some kind of undercurrent of discomfort that you're feeling with the team. You know, there's a lot of mixed messaging. I don't think Rohit was completely happy because he said that he convinced him to play that Adelaide test apparently. after he had landed in Perth 3 days into the test. There's something afoot. I don't know what it is exactly. I mean, leave aside the cricket, because obviously that's the cricketing decision of him opening is a ridiculous one. You got a set pair in Rahul and Yashasvi. Of course, Jaiswal hasn't done that well apart from that one innings, but he's still the opener. Rahul has proved himself. There's no reason why Rohit should suddenly come as opener. It doesn't make any sense. But cricketing sense aside, I think there is some undercurrent of confusion or tension. And Sundaresan may be right, because I think there is a possibility that either of the two big fish, one of them or maybe both of them, could probably be announcing something big. Let's see. But still, I mean, there's a series to be played, so let's not go too ahead
Yeah,
of ourselves right now.
yeah, yeah,
Right. But
yeah.
so there is this thing I read from Andrew McDonald, coach of Australia, and he said that it doesn't really matter this Melbourne pitch who bats or who bowls first. I mean, there's some 6 of grass there. It obviously will help the bowlers in the first hour, maybe hour and a half. It's going to be a really hot day tomorrow, uh,
Yeah.
literally around 40 degrees. And then the very next day, which is the 27th, is supposed to be in the mid 20s. So this is like a
Hmm.
huge change in the weather in 2 days.
Yeah, yeah,
And then that makes it unpredictable, because
yeah,
it's better to bat when it's warm, I guess.
yeah.
If you negotiate that first 1 hour without the loss of too many wickets, you're going to get a better conditions for bowling on the second day, because it will swing if it's colder.
Hmm.
So I think wind toss bat first is probably going to be the way it is.
Yeah, I think like that's the template. Like, India has won the last two matches that we played here.
Hmm.
And like, interestingly, like, the template there is like fairly set that, play out the new ball. Incidentally, like, if we look at the 2018 series, like, we put on some 430 or something for seven on the board.
Yeah.
And Pujara got 100. Sharma and Virat both got, 70, 80 types and all.
Got an 80 types that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, what really stands out is Vihari. Vihari
Yeah.
made only 8 runs of
Correct.
66 balls.
Correct. He played more than 10 overs. Yeah.
Yeah, he was out in the 18th or the 19th over or so. So,
Correct. So
like
he
it brings you back to
batted
that
half
point that we had
and half
in
the
the,
overs.
yeah. So it brings you back to the point that we had in the previous episode also. That,
Hmm.
uh, somewhere like, we need to go back to old school test cricket
Yeah.
for the current day, that, be a little risk averse,
Yeah.
especially when the ball is doing things
Correct.
as such. Uh, who do you think is the most who do you think is the batsman, like, who's performed the best at Melbourne
For India across the years.
for India? Yeah, like maybe like take the last 10 years.
Well, okay, you had Pujara scoring well in 2018, last
Yeah,
time we won. 2021, I think Rahane played that century innings of
yeah,
his.
yeah.
But if you look at the last 10 years, I would still put it as Kohli, I think.
No, you've said it actually. Like, the
Oh,
template is the likes of Pujara and
okay.
the likes of Rahane.
Stonewaller. Yeah, a
Yeah.
slightly more conservative Stonewaller. Yeah,
In fact, like Rahane has gotten 200s
correct.
at Melbourne as such, like which is the highest by any Indian in
Right.
Melbourne.
Correct.
So, that tells you a few things.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
let's come back to the first point that we were discussing of Rohit Sharma opening the batting. You
Yeah.
need Rahul to open.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You definitely need Rahul. And Rahul's shown it in the 3 tests that's been played so far, right? I mean,
Yeah,
he has the technique, he has the ability to leave the ball. And I think Jaiswal is a natural stroke maker. So, I mean, although he has the game to play
true,
quiet,
true. Yeah,
he's still going to be instinctive with the way that
yeah,
way. I honestly think this is really going to come down to the first 15 to 20 overs. If we get past the initial burst from Stark and Cummins,
yeah,
Boland is obviously going to come in one drop.
yeah.
Uh, he's got an excellent Melbourne record, right? He took 6 for 7.
Absolutely. 6 for 7. Like, how insane is that? Yeah,
Yeah. So I think if they blunt these three out for maybe about 20 overs, the first session,
yeah,
and not lose more than a wicket,
Yeah.
we are safe.
I
But unfortunately, I don't think India has anyone of the caliber of a Pujara or even a Rahane
Yeah.
to play that
Let's
long
just
game.
say that, if the opening batsmen like play out 30 overs or so, it's
Yeah,
very good going after that.
correct, correct. Right. So India's going to have this question mark always on the batting, right? Because
Mm.
it's been across the last year, across this year rather, and a little bit of last year as well. Top order's not been firing. The lower
Mm.
order, like Pant and
Mm.
Jadeja and Ashwin, have pulled people out of pulled the team out.
Yeah.
And the question mark will persist because apart from Rahul and at one innings from Kohli and Jaiswal, you had Shubman Gill who's looking pretty, but he's not making anything beyond 30s. And then it comes down back to Pant and maybe a
Yeah.
Nitish Reddy at the bottom.
Yeah.
You think there's any merit in actually putting Nitish Reddy up?
Okay. You've mentioned Nitish Reddy. Uh, I think Nitish Reddy would be on the bench for this
Oh,
match
there are talks of him being on the bench. Yes.
because, though the curator came and said that the wicket would not offer too much for the spinners,
Hmm.
the reality is that in the past three matches, like for India at least at Melbourne, it's been apart from Bumrah,
Yeah.
it's been Jadeja and Ashwin
Correct.
who've been taking the wicket. So like maybe sorry,
You're expecting two spinners to play?
I think we should play two spinners.
Wow. So you're going to go with Washington and Jadeja then in that case.
I will go with Tanush Kotian and Jadeja.
Whoa! Left field choice from Anshuman.
No, like,
I have a very soft corner for Tanush Kotian. Let me put it this way as well.
yeah. Like
He's
I'm
a
a
back.
Tanush Kotian fan. Like I've been following him in his domestic career as such. Washington is a known quantity for Australians.
Yeah.
Yeah, and let's look the different ways of looking at this. But then, if India wants to qualify for the Test Championship,
Hmm.
we should win this match.
Yeah, they have to. They have to. Otherwise, it's
Yeah.
out of their hands anyway. So
Yeah, let's assume there's a possibility of a draw also, and then we go on to win at
yeah.
Sydney. But then, why leave it at that?
It gets tougher with a draw or a loss. Simple as
Yeah.
that. So yeah.
So,
But then,
it
so you're
makes
saying
sense to bring in a unknown quantity.
so you're saying that it's going to be Bumrah, Siraj, and Akashdeep as the pacers,
Yeah,
and Jadeja as the all-rounder, and yeah, Kotian is also an all-rounder. He's so that's the bottom five after
yeah,
Pant.
that's what I would say.
Yeah, it's quite an interesting one, and honestly, there's nothing to lose. They might as well pull that rabbit out of the hat and put Kotian there.
Yeah,
Uh, Kotian has played some amazing from back of the wall kind of innings for Bombay in the past in
yeah,
Ranji.
true. Yeah, yeah,
Right? And he and Shams Mulani, the other spinner, they've had
yeah,
some amazing partnerships in Ranji, which have sort of
yeah,
taken
yeah,
Bombay from the brink at times.
yeah,
I would love to.
yeah.
I'm going to slightly differ with you, and like I said, I would love to see Kotian play tomorrow. But I have a strong feeling that they're going to play four pacers tomorrow.
Hmm.
I have a feeling Prasidh Krishna will come in,
Okay.
but it will be at the expense of Nitish Reddy. So
Okay.
they're going to take a batting risk. They're going to
Hmm.
shorten their batting length a bit.
Hmm.
But I do have a feeling somebody like Prasidh Krishna will be very useful here.
Yeah, that would
Uh,
be interesting. Yeah, yeah.
because the pitch, it really is the first innings. It's a first
Hmm.
innings test here.
Hmm.
Whoever gets the higher score in the first innings is going to win this game.
True.
So it doesn't matter if the spinners are going to come in on day 3 or 4 or whatever, right?
Yeah,
And Jadeja is accurate. I mean, he might do well in Melbourne. He's done well in Melbourne in the
yeah,
past. So,
yeah,
I don't think we need that additional spinner. If you do need to bowl a little bit, maybe Rohit can bowl his arm over here. He's a might as well if he's taking a swan song. Rohit's got hat tricks by the way, right? In T20s. So
yeah.
so if Head can bowl and if Aman, what's his name? Who's the other guy who turns his arm around?
Labushan, Labushan.
He can bowl. Then why not Rohit? We'll give it a shot.
So,
Anyway,
Head
interesting.
and Labushan are a lot more competent with the ball than Rohit has been. Like Rohit,
Yeah,
has been the occasional part timer as such. Like,
Yeah.
maybe I'm reading a little bit too much into this, but like, the way the curator said it,
Hmm.
I think that was biased in favor of Australia. Uh,
Hmm.
like, the wicket supposedly is like not too different from what has been laid out previously. As
Yeah.
such, like, I think the wicket was redone in 2017, 2018, and then, like, the base wicket has remained the same. So, like,
Right.
it's nature, it's not going to change too much.
Yeah. It
And, like,
won't.
if we have proof of performance with the spinners,
Hmm.
uh, then, you might as well persist with it.
Yeah, it
And,
makes sense. What you're saying makes sense.
yeah.
I'm just wondering if I think what's going to happen here is essentially Bumrah's fitness, because there's
Hmm,
already a lot of pressure on him in the last three
hmm,
tests.
hmm,
He
hmm.
has pulled up, in the
Yeah,
last few tests with a little bit of that. He looks like a niggling groin kind of, or a
yeah,
hamstring. Really.
yeah,
He's going to be under pressure to bowl a lot here,
yeah,
uh, especially with the long boundaries. So there's a lot of running in the field. There are a lot of three
yeah,
score. It's not a
yeah,
boundary ground,
yeah.
right? So if you're on the field for long, you're on the field for long in Melbourne.
Hmm, hmm,
So,
hmm.
just feel that they might take that insurance and say, okay, Siraj has not been in the greatest of form. Akashdeep has just come in. Maybe we need a fourth pacer there. But yeah, I mean, either way, it's going to be an interesting selection for India. I mean, definitely they.
Actually, like, it's wrong to say that Siraj has not been in form.
No, no,
Like,
he's
Siraj
not in
has,
the best of form. I mean, in the form that he was in England, for example, when he played here,
he's
right?
taken 13 wickets.
Yeah, he's taken the
He's
wickets.
been a he's been
Yeah,
a very good support to Bumrah as such.
50-50, I would say. I think he's not been as incisive as a Bumrah to a certain extent.
Shanti,
Uh,
would anyone ever be as incisive as
no, no,
Bumrah?
Bumrah's having a George Loman kind of movement right
Precisely.
now. So, yeah, so
Precisely.
he's
So, like, like, I think everyone is being a little unfair on Siraj. Like, the chap is doing a damn good job. Like, he comes, runs in, like, he bowls his heart out.
yeah.
Uh, like, he just needs maybe a little bit of guidance.
Okay. Yeah, but anyway, I think he'll play. He'll play. He's
Yeah,
playing tomorrow. That's for sure. Very
yeah,
unlikely
yeah,
they'll
yeah.
rest him on the bench. Okay, let's talk about the other side now, and let's talk about Australia. Obviously, the
Sam
only change.
Constance.
Coming to that.
I think this
So
is going to be a century on debut.
come on, man. You're Indian, man. Don't jinx India, man.
No, 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 Dil hai Hindustani, but, like, man, like, need to root for talent.
Yeah.
And, like,
Yeah, I in fact, I followed the last 1 month where he had scored that century against,
hmm,
India itself, and then he had a 50 in 20 or 30 balls in that T20.
yeah, yeah,
So I ended up going to YouTube and watching him bat.
yeah.
He's 19, looks fairly free spirited.
Free
Quite a,
spirited. He's
he's a
so
stroke
confident.
maker. Yeah, he's a stroke maker.
Yeah,
And has shades of Shane Watson in him. There's a little bit of Watson in him somewhere. If you that sort of technique of his, and that slightly aggressive stance, he
yeah,
slightly reminds me of a little bit of Shane Watson for some reason.
yeah, yeah,
But yeah, it's a nice breath of fresh air at the start.
yeah,
Let's see how he goes against Bumrah. That's going to be
yeah.
amazing. That initial bit is going to be amazing. Let's see.
Actually, before we come back to Australia, like, this is interesting. Like, just a short while ago, I was with this very good friend of mine, Vijay Rao, and,
Hmm.
like, we were talking about Virat Kohli,
Hmm.
and like, I just said that, form is something which is very strange, and, like, Vijay, like, he's one of the most insightful guys whom I know
Hmm.
in life as such, and, like, he says that, to get back into form, you need to play like you're playing it for the first time.
Oh, very nice.
So, like, Virat Kohli and Sam Kamstas. That's like, that's a damn good
Parallel
parallel
there.
as far as this particular match is concerned.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. See, at the end of the day, well, yeah, you're right. I mean, Dile Hindustani, but a good, interesting talent, somebody who's a stroke maker, and I hope it's good, because at the end of the day, whoever wins or loses, we like cricket. We want to see a good game, right? And
Yeah,
that's more
yeah,
important at the end
yeah.
of the day. So yeah, should be interesting. What do you think about the other guy, Boland? We spoke about him briefly, but your thoughts on Boland?
Like, Boland is a creature of Melbourne.
Yeah.
like 6 for 7. Like I think he's got an average of 10
Yeah,
or
30,
so.
12, 10, 12-ish. Yeah,
And
correct.
like
Yeah.
like he's very much in the Magra mold as
Hmm.
such. Like
Correct.
everything is like good length.
Yeah.
You don't really know whether it's coming in or going out.
Right.
And like even in the ping ball test, he was very good. Like it
Yeah.
was kind of unfair that he had to make way for Hazelwood. But
Correct.
just think back to the time that he set up Kohli.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
like
no doubt. Yeah.
yeah, everything was in the same spot, going away, going away, going away, going away. He
Correct.
does that for maybe 2 overs, and
Yeah.
then like suddenly, there's one just slightly in, and
Correct.
Kohli edges it.
Correct. Correct. No, he's an intelligent bowler. And not just intelligent. I think he's a very he's that quiet bowler, right? He's not one
Yeah,
of those flashy guys.
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
he looks like a gentle giant, kind of.
yeah, yeah,
We used to call them gentle giants, right? The big, tall, fast bowlers.
yeah.
But I think what's good about Boland is the way the ball kisses the pitch.
Hmm.
You use that term, the kissing the pitch. Uh,
Absolutely. Yeah,
just see the way the ball lands and it moves when Boland bowls, right?
yeah, yeah.
There's a little bit of that poetry in that ball. It looks
True,
very smooth.
true.
There's no real aggression. With Stark, you get that aggression, you get that flow of the ball, right?
Yeah,
With Cummins also, there's a lot of effort that goes in that ball.
yeah.
With Boland, it's like his action is quite bustling, but on delivery, once it moves out of his hand and it hits it really kisses the pitch. And I
True,
think he's a very deceptive bowler because of that, because you don't really
true,
know what pace is coming at. It,
true,
it looks
true,
slow in the air, but I think it's pitching and going at about 140, 142, uh,
true.
and with considerable length, proper
Yeah,
length.
yeah,
So always that. I mean, if Kohli gets beaten, you got your man, right? So
yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, we should give credit to Virat that he has trouble against in that off stump corridor, but he's still Virat Kohli. To get him out is not going to be easy. Right.
True.
So two interesting, I mean, interesting Australian sort of jacks there in the pack.
We
Uh,
missed three. We've
who's
not
three?
spoken about three. Actually, we spoke about Comstas. So, like, he comes in for Makswini.
Yeah,
So that's one
Nathan.
out.
Yeah.
I'm. I think that both Khwaja and Labuschagne are in for good scores.
Sorry, RM.
Are in for good scores. They'll do
Uh,
well.
I think Khwaja might, because he needs. There will be the sort of law of averages catching up with him. Uh, don't know about Manas.
Yeah. No, Manas like has done well. Like he's got a cup what 250s now in this series. So
Yeah.
he's
My
slowly like
my,
playing
my
himself back.
worry my worry with this test is only one worry. If India do not get the initial breakthroughs, and Australia's batting first, this looks like a 400 to 500 wicket for Australia.
Yeah, it is.
It's
Like
quite easy.
irrespective whether it's India or Australia,
Yeah, correct.
the team batting first, like if you play out the first 40, 30 overs or
Yeah.
so, you can go on to make
Yeah, and
good
I
runs.
think you're pretty much going to bat the other team out of business,
Hmm.
because it's going
Yeah,
to be very, very tough to match that, right? You'll have to come
yeah,
about 50 runs close to whatever you score to
yeah,
make a fist of it in the fourth innings. So
yeah.
I think bat first, bat long, bat big as much as you can, and
True.
uh, like a 400 to 500 is going to pretty much secure 50% of your hand on that
Yeah,
match, right? So
yeah.
going to be interesting. Any other things that have caught your attention going into the test, or from the playing 11, or anything you heard which is interesting about what's going to happen?
Like I don't think we've had any episode in which I have not spoken about Virat Kohli.
Okay,
So like
please do.
I'm channeling my inner Ravi Shastri right now. It's uh, come at the man, come at the hour.
Yeah,
And as far as Virat is concerned, like the stage can't be better than MCG. Like
yeah, absolutely.
100,000 people watching,
Mostly
probably
Indian,
50,000 of them would be Indian, maybe more.
yeah,
Historic venue, host to the first Test match ever played, host to
yeah,
the first One Day International ever played. Kohli
correct.
himself has gotten 100 there before.
Probably his
Uh,
last game at Melbourne.
yeah, it could be his last game at Melbourne.
Yeah, so his
Last Test
sponsor
match.
at Melbourne.
Let's put it that way.
Sponsor. Yeah, I hope he does. I mean, see, there's nothing better than watching a Kohli century if that happens,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
And honestly, if he does score a century, which means the lower order gets freed and they can attack.
Mm.
Right? So
Yeah,
somebody like a Pant or a Jadeja can bolster that batting.
exactly. Or
If
like,
they're not-
even if, how cool would this be that, uh, it's we stick with the current batting lineup. That
Hmm,
is like Rohit not coming into open.
hmm,
Rohit Sharma, Pant, Jadeja.
hmm.
Batting after
After,
India has already put in 250, 300 runs on the board.
yeah, that is
That can be absolute run fest.
yeah, yeah, it will be actually. I think they'll get the license to go after it.
Yeah.
This is there's this old friend of mine who's again like how you said Vijay Rao. I had a friend in Bombay, and he would always say 270 for three at the end of 90 overs on the first day is your day,
Yeah, I
right?
know.
So
Yeah.
he would say 3 runs per over, 3 wickets,
Yeah.
right? So 270 for three always remains. So he said you get
Yeah.
to 270 for three anywhere in the world on the first day of
Yeah.
a test,
Yeah. Yeah.
you are 90% safe in that
Yeah.
test, right?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's really where they should be aiming at. If they're 270 for three tomorrow, which means you'll have probably the only people who would have been out is maybe a Rahul, Jaiswal, and possibly a Gill.
Hmm.
Then A2, you're setting it up for Kohli, for Rohit, for
Yeah.
Pant, for Jadeja.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, again, that depends if India wins and I mean bats first.
Yeah.
Uh, what else? What is your feeling? What's your prediction here? Because I think we had some very clear predictions for the first three tests, but where are you leading to here?
Shanti, this one is a little difficult compared to GABA as such. Perhaps this is the most batting friendly wicket that we'll play on in the series so far.
Yeah,
B, uh, the pitch is not as mercurial as the ones that we've seen before. Uh, Crowd support as such,
hmm,
and recent history is in India's favor.
yeah,
But then, all that is in the past.
hmm,
Like we discussed a short while back, it all comes down to the first 30 overs of play,
yeah,
irrespective of whether we're batting first or batting second.
correct, correct.
Yeah. That's been
Yeah, I think
before the
that's
score
the
is
metric.
made.
That's the
But
metric. I
for the
think.
second innings in Perth,
Hmm,
our batting's not been
which takes.
too. It's been very shaky as such. So, this is beyond the point of individual performances.
Hmm,
Everyone needs to come in and do the job as such.
yeah, right.
And
Uh, okay, sorry.
irrespective, Bumrah might be in great form. Siraj might have done all right. Australia is a better bowling team.
No, no, without a doubt,
Really
without a
are.
doubt, without a
Mm.
doubt. I think that they're definitely the better bowling outfit. In fact, nobody's talked about Nathan Lyon in this series, right? He's not done anything of note,
He's not had
and
an opportunity to bowl too.
yeah, he's not got an opportunity. But I
Yeah.
mean, imagine a guy who's almost like the eighth highest wicket taker. Just I mean, I was watching Ravichandran Ashwin's interview yesterday with
Yeah.
Mike Atherton and Nasir Hussain. It's a very good. You should watch that.
Yeah.
He was quite forthright with a lot of comments,
Hmm.
and he was. They said you're the seventh highest bowler. He said no, but Nathan's breathing down my neck. I think for a
Yeah.
couple of
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
right? So, yeah, I mean, they're definitely a better bowling side, and I think batting wise, they're shaky, but uh, they're predictable in their own backyard, right? And I think a Smith, you can never discount a Smith, you can never discount a Khwaja, you can never discount
And
a Manas.
Shanti, their problem was the top three,
Yeah,
which was McSweeney, Khwaja, and Labuschagne.
right.
As far as Brisbane was concerned, those guys put in the hard work.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely, they did. Yeah, yeah. I mean, they've had a more settled batting overall. I mean,
Yeah.
overall, India's been. I think the one innings in Perth, which was really amazing, but
Hmm.
otherwise it's been shambles. Actually, if you look
Yeah.
at it, it's been shambles, right?
Yeah.
Uh, Par 200 scores is not the way you play Test matches at the
Yeah.
end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And another one, I mean, not even lasting 50 overs, for example, even if
Hmm.
you don't score.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, it is going to come down eventually, finally, to the batting.
Yeah.
Both the teams,
Yeah.
like somebody said, both are fragile batting units with a very decent bowling lineup for both.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, so it'll come down again to who bats well tomorrow, whether it's
I
Australia or
disagree. Like Australia is not that fragile. Like
no,
they've done the hard work.
no, fragile in the sense that they're better versus their bowling. I mean, that's what they're trying to
Huh.
say.
Yeah. True. Yeah.
Because Manas has had issues, Khwaja has had issues, Smith just found his hands, literally,
Yeah.
as they say. So, I mean, the top 4 or 5 names aren't doing that well, weren't doing
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
well, right? So, and Bumrah is going to be a problem for them. There's no doubt about it. So, yeah, let's
Bichara.
see. Predictions. Still, I'll still put you in the corner and ask you first day. Okay, let's do a first day prediction. What do you think
Hmm.
is for a bat? What's the score at the end of day one?
Dude, like, how can one say that? Now, like, it depends who wins the toss. So, like,
Lottery and
let's say Rohit Sharma wins the toss. We decide to bat first.
I hope he does.
Yeah, and I hope he doesn't open the batting.
Yeah, hope that too.
Uh, like, if these guys bat out the first 20, 25 overs or something, like, we'll end the day at 303 for the loss of 3 wickets.
Fantastic. Okay, that's good. I predict Australia winning the toss tomorrow. I predict
Mm.
Australia batting first tomorrow. And I predict a end of day score of 270 for 6.
Oh, okay.
Okay, for Australia with a century from Manas. That's my prediction.
Yeah, Manse.
And a general collapse at the other end with an interesting 30-40 from Constas.
What makes you say that there'll be a collapse?
I just get a very strange feeling that because of the heat,
Uh,
I have a feeling the spinners are actually going to come into effect on day one.
oh, okay.
I have a different theory here. I think if it's a 40-degree day, I
Uh,
think Jadeja is going to be fairly handy on that day.
hmm.
And this is, left armers generally on hotter days tend to do well.
Yeah, but like
Uh,
the wicket would still have some moisture in it, no? Like
agreed. But
first the wicket. So,
I just feel it's going to be a 6 wicket day either way. But if
uh,
Australia bats, it's going to be like a 270, 280 for 6.
hmm.
And it's only going to be one big contribution. It's going to be the Manas.
Hmm.
I think it's going to be Manas. This is going to be Manas's test for me,
Yeah.
and I hope
Nah,
it is.
I'm pretty sure like Manas will do well. I
Yeah,
think Khwaja will also do well. You can look forward to a very entertaining innings from Constas.
yeah, yeah. So it's good. I mean, you're going for India batting and saying 303 for 3. I'm going with Australia batting and saying 270, 280 for 6.
So like
So
if you're predicting you are you predicting Travis head failure?
yeah, I am predicting a Travis Head failure tomorrow. I
Law of
think it's
averages?
yeah, no, not just law of averages. I think the pitch. See, he's playing on a simple template right now. See ball,
Hmm.
hit ball, right?
Hmm.
I had he been caught by that Siraj, Siraj dropped him
Hmm.
last
Hmm.
week,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
He's had a lot of luck. I think the luck is bound to run up run out more than the law of
Hmm.
averages.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
I have a strange feeling he's going to get run out.
Ah.
Somebody's going to run him out tomorrow. Let's see. These are all like speculation, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be his test. This one.
Hmm.
This is a
Hmm.
Manas kind of wicket. Uh,
Hmm.
it's also I have a strange feeling, it's a Jadeja kind of wicket.
Yeah.
It'll be very interested to see Tanish Kotian batting or bowling. I mean, I
Hmm.
love picked him out of the hat there. Uh,
Hmm.
secret desire was that somebody say Tanish Kotian, so you said it. But yeah, I think 280 for 6 if Australia bats, or even if India bats, it's the same score and 280 for 6.
Actually, like if Tanush Kotian gets selected, what would Washington Sundar say? Like he tried so hard to get Ashwin out of the picture. Ashwin goes, and
Well,
suddenly
I mean, he can like I don't know, man. I mean, he has 2 other brothers. And hopefully, they'll be there, right? No, New York Satyam and Chicago Sundaram.
okay.
I don't know, man. Bad joke here. Horrible joke. Okay, leave it at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we have our predictions. Anshuman says Australia is going to bat first, 303 for 3. I'm saying India bats and gets about. Oh, sorry, the other way around. You said India will bat, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Anshuman said India is going to bat and end at 303 for three. I've said Australia is going to bat and end at about 280 for six. We'll leave it at that. Whatever it is, going to be a very, very interesting test because it's an open test. It's too
Hmm.
difficult to call. It could go either way. But
Hmm.
I think day one will pretty much give you the idea of what's going to happen in this test. So
Yeah.
tomorrow's the day for it. Yeah.
So, Shanti,
So
before
yeah,
we sign off, uh, your take on Ashwin's retirement.
I was very disappointed, man. I was very.
Hmm.
I think something went horribly wrong.
Hmm.
And honestly, he's a little too intelligent at times. He
Hmm.
intelligent in the sense that I've seen so many interviews from him and also of people who have had opinions on this, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Uh, I just felt that the most telling comment was what his father said.
Yeah.
His father said, "How much humiliation can anyone bear?" And I think he
Hmm.
let that cat out of the bag there.
Hmm.
Uh, because his father's had a very strong role to play, his mother's had a very strong role to play in
Hmm.
his career.
Hmm. Hmm.
Obviously, I think he went to Australia with that thing that he would not go to Australia if he wasn't picked. Uh,
Hmm.
we didn't pick him in the first test, and that's why I
Hmm.
think Rohit said he grudgingly played that
Hmm.
late.
Hmm.
He should have stayed. My opinion was he shouldn't have quit midway. I think Sydney would have been tailor made for him.
Hmm.
And if this test is lost, I think that would have been a great chance for Ashwin to be there and sort of square the series at least.
Hmm.
But I just feel that when somebody see we he 537 wickets is the equivalent of somebody scoring 12 to 13,000 runs, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And would you have treated somebody like a Tendulkar or a Dravid or a Kalis or a Sangakkara or any of these or a Cook, for example, or a Root, for example? I don't think you would treat batsmen like this, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody who scored 12,000, 13,000 runs, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
The averages they say that per wicket you multiply it by 25, so every wicket
Yeah.
is like 24 runs. So
Yeah.
537 wickets is a good 13,000 runs in Test cricket, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think he was not given the right sort of treatment. And I've been a spinner myself, and I know how tough the art of off spin is because it's easy to hit off spinners,
Hmm.
right?
Yes, absolutely.
Right?
Slog fight. Every
Yeah,
ball.
yeah. See, leg spinners have a lot more guile. It's tougher to pick leg spinners. Off
Hmm.
spinners are
Hmm.
very predictable. In that
Hmm.
predictability, for a man to have so much innovation, and
Yeah.
he was engineering on the cricket
Absolutely.
field,
Absolutely.
right? And I think we haven't done him enough justice or due.
Hmm. Hmm.
He would have easily played had he got all the opportunities in the last 10, 11 years. He's not even played what 105, 110 tests.
Yeah.
Uh,
No. Hmm.
I mean, and then got 500 wickets, right? So had
Yeah.
he played the same number of tests say, as a Virat Kohli, because they both came in almost at the same time,
Hmm.
he would be 130 tests sold by now, and
Yeah.
probably would have been about 700 wickets down. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
so I just feel very very bad for him, but uh, I just have a very strong feeling he is a future India coach, and he's
Hmm.
going to be an awesome coach because
Hmm.
he knows the game, he knows the batting side and the bowling side.
Yeah.
Uh, I think he'll be in the Rahul Dravid mode or mold, and
So,
I do hope he plays a part.
yeah. I hope he goes on to replace Gautam Gambhir.
That's not going to happen. Not immediately. No, he said it. He's going to play for his club. He's going to play for obviously the IPL.
Yeah.
Uh, but I think 3 4 years down the line, when the transition has happened and when the Kohlis and the Rohit Sharmas and possibly even some but I think Pant is going to be primed for a captaincy role very soon,
Hmm. Hmm.
and I think he would like to be coach when Pant or Gill is a captain, right?
Hmm.
So if that transition happens, I see him coming in definitely as a coach.
Hmm.
What are your
Hmm.
thoughts?
No, like I echo your sentiment as such. Like I think like it was badly handled by both sides.
Hmm.
Like
True. Agreed.
yeah, like if Ashwin had any doubts about whether he wanted to play any further, as such, he could have chosen to stay out
Yeah.
of the series.
Right.
Like if you're in there, then you might as well stick it out for the completion of the series as such, and instead of leaving midway. Like
Right.
let's assume it panned out that India decided to call Tanush Kotian in as
Correct.
another spinner as such.
Correct.
Imagine Washington Sundar. suddenly not being available to
Hmm.
play. Like he gets injured or something, and India
Right.
needs an off spinner.
Hmm.
Then, then you've left the team in a lurch.
Yeah.
Now, having said that, what compels a man to leave a series midway?
Obviously, something went wrong. Yeah,
So,
obviously.
it's obviously he's been told that, hey, sorry, you might not be playing at Melbourne or at Sydney. At which
Yeah.
point of time he says that, hey, what am I doing here? So I
Yeah.
might as well,
No, but,
pack my bag.
some parallels with how Sidhu left the England tour midway and never came back, right?
Ah,
And he never spoke about it. Also, he's that
yeah, yeah, yeah,
obviously there's a problem with Mohammad Azharuddin at that time.
yeah,
I mean that was the grapevine at least,
yeah.
but again, Sidhu and Ashwin are similar, like very headstrong, very principled in their own way, right? Their
But
ways.
don't compare Ashwin to Sidhu.
No, no, not as a cricketer. I'm saying as and not even as a person. I'm just saying in terms of uh, not the Sidhu who's become the Korea Sidhu. Right? Sidhu was a decent batsman there. Come on, a decent player. He was like what he's done as a commentator and what he's done on the Kapil Sharma show. Yeah? He was a decent. Strokeless wonder नहीं था वो यार. इतना भी Strokeless
Yeah.
wonder. Yeah,
No, like Ashwin, has been an absolute wizard.
yeah, yeah,
And like you said, he would invent things on the fly.
yeah. Literally.
Yeah, and like not just as a bowler, as a batsman also. Like the
Hmm.
semi-final against Pakistan in the T20 World Cup.
Yeah,
Like he won us the match by leaving a ball.
correct. I mean, the presence
Like
of mind
you
is the ball. Yeah,
Yeah, you come into bat, whatever you need for 4 5 runs to win.
correct,
You come in like later in the order. Your first instinct would be to slog sweep,
correct.
especially anything which is pitched on the leg stump. And this
Correct.
guy has the foresight to hey, this is on the leg stump. It's gonna spin away. Let's leave
Yeah,
it. Let's get it wide.
correct.
And the next
No,
shot also that he plays to win the match,
honestly,
it's a calculated shot.
yeah, if you ask me, of in the last 100 years, the two bowlers who probably had the best understanding of the game, and both did not get much of a chance to lead their country, is Warne
Mm.
and Ashwin.
Yeah, yeah.
Excellent thinkers of the game, excellent bowlers, but didn't captain. I mean, Ashwin never captained, also, right? He
I know, like Gavaskar said that he's the best captain India never had.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely, absolutely. I think Shastri also got limited chances. Shastri was
yeah.
at that point, and everyone said, Shastri would have been a good captain. But yeah, I mean, let's give due credit where it's due.
Mm.
A legend in all. I mean, he would walk into any team.
Yeah,
I mean, and he had a good 2 years left. I
yeah,
felt
yeah.
he was still
And
fit. And
the other thing which I feel kind of bad about Ashwin as such, he got slotted as a person who would perform in India
yeah, correct,
and not overseas. Like he did
correct.
not get the opportunities overseas,
But his overseas record is fairly good whenever he played.
and it's really
Which
good.
is
And
not
you need to balance this from the fact that who did you have bowling from the other end?
yeah,
You had Jadeja bowling from the other end.
correct,
So
correct.
it's a
No, look at it from this angle, right? Australia has persisted with Lyon as the only spinner for 10 years or 12 years
yeah,
now.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
penciled in, right? He's not
yeah,
a great batsman. He's a number 11.
yeah,
But he just automatically makes it into that team, right?
yeah.
You cannot drop your best bowler. At the end of the
True,
day, before Bumrah, he's your best bowler, right? So,
true, true,
uh,
true,
I mean, why would you do horses for courses with the best bowler in the world? It doesn't
true,
make sense, right? So,
true.
anyway, I mean, he's said what he has to say. I think a lot of people have
Mm,
spoken.
mm,
I don't think he's going to keep quiet, and I hope he has a
mm.
second win very soon with India cricket. But yeah, let's hope there's a good test match tomorrow. It's at 3 in the morning in Dubai, 4:30 in the morning in India, I'm assuming. So early morning start, and yeah, let's see where this is headed. We'll probably touch base uh, after the game. Let's see where it has gone and do another live.
Most probably.
Yeah.
Would be fun.
Okay, fantastic. So, yeah, let's catch up soon. And thank you guys for watching in today. Again, a very quick plug for our channel, Bhai Waugh. It's on YouTube. It's called BHAIWAUGH, Bhai Waugh. Please subscribe, please share. We tend to put in our thoughts. We're doing a lot more LinkedIn lives. We will sort out YouTube live and get back to you. But thank you so much. And Anshuman, thank you, Chief, again. Adios, amigos.
See you,
We are
bro.
in this live session.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching, guys.